So common question, should I set up a family trust for wealth transfer? And is there an inheritance tax in Australia? So let me start with the second part of that. There is no direct inheritance tax in Australia. So there's no tax that says if you die, you pay so much. There's a couple of indirect inheritance taxes. So if you've got a family home, it's tax-free, but if the kids keep it, they'll start to accumulate a tax liability unless they're living in it. Superannuation, if you die and the money goes to adult tax children, they will pay a tax on a portion of it. Most people don't even know what that is. So number one, you should get that checked out with your financial advisors so you know there are many things you can do about that. So there's no direct, so there's capital gains tax on shares as well. So if you die and your kids take the shares, they don't pay tax if they take the shares. They'll pay the tax you would have paid if they sell them, but if they keep them, they'll inherit your cost base and eventually pay tax as if they were you, but on their tax rates. So over time, capital gains tax becomes the quasi-death taxes. So then people get back to, well, what if we have a family trust that will go over multi-generations? Will that defer or delay capital gains? And the answer is yes, it can, subject to a few provisos. One will be that governments don't change the rules around family trusts. The current government is trying to potentially change some of those rules or talking about it, or at least putting out media releases to see if that bites. So one, work with people that know what's going on. But in general, family trust can be a great place to accumulate family wealth. You then have to work out how you pass control of that. So while it's not directly covered by your will, through the trust deed, and the trust deed will explain how as the trustees pass on or can't operate. So picture mum and dad, there's potential trustees of a trust, usually through a company where they're directors. If they pass, their will would determine who gets the shares in the trustee company. But that's only one thing. What's more important is what it says in the trust deed about who becomes what's called the appointer of the trust. So they're really the controller of the trust. And many trust deeds will say it goes to the executor, but some will go through another process and name specifically. So you need them very carefully designed with your financial advisor, accountant, and potentially a lawyer to manage that control. It'll depend how old your kids are. Your kids may not be old enough to have that control early, so you may want other people in control. And I'm talking generally here. The detailed answer to this question is a lot longer, and the correct answer is see a good accountant, see a good financial advisor, and work with a good lawyer. But they can be amazing vehicles. Nothing's perfect. We're seeing in the Gina Rinehart is at court with her kids, her late father, Lang Hancock, who was one of Australia's great mining prospectors, accumulated all the wealth in a family trust. Family trust only goes for 99 years or something. So it's actually being tested right now, his family trust, and it's being challenged in the courts about whether that trust should be wound up and distributed to all the beneficiaries, which is what Gina's kids want, versus Gina's trying to extend that trust, and it'll go through court for decades. So there is no perfect control of the future, but family trust can be useful. There's a whole other aspect of family law to take into account here, which I won't attempt to cover, but get really good advice, potentially useful strategy, but make sure you've got people that know what they're talking about, and beware, rules can change and there's no perfect control of the future.